Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into an issue that has become a matter of life and death, not just for women, but for the future of our society as a whole. Recently, the news has been flooded with heartbreaking stories. A young woman doctor in India brutally lost her life at the hands of those who had no respect for her dignity, her rights, or her humanity. Across the world, similar stories emerge daily, women being harassed, violated, and silenced.
But what fuels this mentality? Where does this disregard for human life and dignity begin? And most importantly, how can we, as parents, change this narrative? The world is witnessing a growing crisis, one that has its roots not just in the horrific acts we see in the news, but in the very homes, communities, and societies we are part of. Recent events in India, and indeed across the globe, have left us all questioning, what has gone wrong? Why are we seeing such a rise in violence, disrespect, and a blatant disregard for human dignity?
The answer lies not in a single event, but in the myriad influences that shape our children from a very young age. It all starts at home. The values we instill in our children, the lessons we teach them, these are the building blocks of the adults they will become. Today, we'll talk about how to raise boys who respect girls and understand the importance of equality, and how to empower our girls to stand up for themselves and for others, to recognize danger, and to protect themselves in difficult situations. This is not just about protecting our daughters, it's about raising sons who will never be part of the problem.
Parents, I know this is a tough conversation, but it's one we need to have because humanity is at stake. The safety of our daughters, sisters, and mothers depends on the lessons we teach our children today.
First, let's talk about our boys. From an early age, it's crucial to teach them that every person, regardless of gender, deserves respect. This means modeling respectful behavior in your own interactions and calling out any disrespectful attitudes or actions, no matter how small. Boys need to learn that strength isn't about dominating others, it's about protecting and uplifting those around them.
Encourage your sons to express their emotions in healthy ways and to be empathetic towards others. Teach them about consent, not just in romantic contexts, but in everyday interactions. Make sure they understand that no means no, and that true respect means listening to and valuing the feelings of others.
Now, let's talk about our daughters. It's heartbreaking to see the fear and anxiety that so many young girls face today. But as parents, we can equip our girls with the tools they need to navigate the world with confidence and courage. Teach them to trust their instincts and to recognize when something doesn't feel right. Empower them to speak up, not just for themselves, but for others who may not have a voice.
Encourage your daughters to develop strong decision-making skills. Give them opportunities to make choices and support them in learning from both their successes and mistakes. Teach them about the importance of boundaries, both setting their own and respecting others. And most importantly, let them know that they are not alone, that they have the strength and the right to stand up for themselves.
But this isn't just about boys or girls, it's about creating a society where everyone feels safe and respected. As parents, we have a responsibility to foster an environment where these values are not just taught, but lived every day. We must also be mindful of the messages our children receive from the world around them, the media, their peers, even the toys they play with. We need to be their guides, helping them to think critically about the values they see and hear. Talk to your children about what they see in the news. Use these difficult stories as opportunities to discuss what went wrong and how things could have been different. Help them understand that violence and disrespect are never the answers, and that they have the power to be part of the solution.
Today, we're going to explore these influences, factors that many of us might overlook but which play a crucial role in shaping the minds and hearts of our children. From the environment at home to the media they consume, from peer pressure to the decisions they make, these elements collectively forge the adults they will become. And at the heart of this discussion lies a deeper understanding of human behavior, something that was first explored by the renowned psychologist Sigmund Freud through his concepts of the id, ego, and superego.
Let's start with the foundation, the home environment. Children are like sponges. They absorb everything around them, whether we realize it or not. If a child grows up in a home where there is constant fighting, disrespect among family members, or even abuse, these negative experiences can leave a lasting impact. They may start to believe that such behavior is normal or acceptable, and that's where the first seeds of problematic behavior are sown. But it doesn't stop at home. Our communities and the society at large also play a significant role. Religious and communal tensions, discrimination, and societal divisions can all influence how a child perceives the world and their place in it. If children are exposed to hate and intolerance, they may internalize these negative emotions, which can later manifest in harmful ways.
As parents, we have the power to counteract these negative influences, but we must be vigilant. The media and social media, for instance, are powerful tools, but they can also be dangerous. Children are bombarded with images, ideas, and behaviors that can shape their worldview in unhealthy ways. If left unchecked, these influences can encourage negative desires, poor decision-making, and a lack of empathy. Peer groups are another significant factor. As children grow, they begin to look to their friends and classmates for validation. This is natural, but it can become problematic if their peers encourage negative behaviors or attitudes. This is where the importance of teaching decision-making skills comes into play. Children need to learn how to think critically, make informed choices, and resist peer pressure when necessary.
Now, let's take a deeper dive into the psychology behind these behaviors. Sigmund Freud, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, introduced the concepts of the id, ego, and superego to explain the structure of the human psyche. The id represents our basic instincts and desires, the part of us that seeks immediate gratification without considering the consequences. This is the part of the mind that, if left unchecked, can lead to destructive behaviors. As we just saw, the girl's refusal to help the old woman was driven by her own selfish desires, showing no empathy or consideration for someone in need. This is a classic example of the id in action, unchecked and focused solely on fulfilling its own needs.
The ego, on the other hand, is the rational part of our psyche. It helps us navigate the world by balancing our desires with reality. The ego considers the consequences of our actions and strives to satisfy the id's desires in a socially acceptable way. In this scene, we see the ego at work, helping the boy weigh the immediate desire to skip school against the long-term consequences, ultimately guiding him to make a responsible decision.
Finally, we have the superego, which represents our moral conscience. It's the voice in our heads that tells us what is right and wrong, based on the values and rules we've learned from our parents, society, and culture. This act of returning the wallet reflects the influence of the superego, guiding the girl to make a morally sound decision based on the values she has internalized.
Understanding these three components, id, ego, and superego, can help us better understand why children, and indeed all of us, sometimes make the choices we do. By nurturing the ego and superego, we can help our children develop the ability to control their impulses, make thoughtful decisions, and grow into empathetic, responsible adults.
As parents, our role is to guide our children in developing a strong moral compass, helping them navigate the complex world around them with kindness, respect, and a sense of responsibility.
Together, we can create a safer future for all our children, a future where boys and girls alike grow up with the values and skills they need to thrive in a just and equal society.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell for more videos on child development, parenting, psychology, education, and holistic well-being. Let us know in the comments how you manage your own inner conflicts and make balanced decisions. Your insights could help someone else. Remember, understanding our minds is the first step toward a healthier, happier life.